OJ, sneaky,
Oh,
sneaky, just up and died yesterday. Ain't nobody know it. It was like it was
Oh,
on.
I had
OJ
no idea.
did it.
Oh, wait a minute, Smith. I think it's too soon. I think we're gonna have to wait at least until tomorrow before you could play that clip. But but there is a lot of reclamation, which we're gonna talk about later. I'm not going to engage unless you want to jump in. But I remember where I was when the verdict came down because I acted like a complete, a total fool running around the Daily News newsroom, high fiving myself apparently as white women huddled in the corners crying, and I was confused. I was so confused. I thought everybody would be as relieved as I was that a black man was found not guilty of killing a white woman in America. I couldn't believe it was
Mm,
happening. I was in my, how old was I? It was 1995. I was young. I was young, y'all.
yeah.
Wasn't even out of my 20s, right? Running around like a chicken with her head cut off, and then I ran into a bunch of people crying, and I was like, "Oh, for them, this is different." And it was to me the first time America got to peek into the window of
Mm,
how divided this nation really is along racial lines because HBCU campuses erupted in cheers,
mm,
predominantly white campuses, tears, and
mm,
OJ became this kind of polarizing figure and a weird thing that we would defend. I think he was our first R. Kelly, like where we would defend
mm,
him because
mm.
after all, no matter how problematic he was, found not guilty, found responsible later, ended up going to jail for I guess trying to get his stuff back, his Heisman Trophy and things. But he was one of the greatest football players, college at least, of all time. But a very complicated man. Spent a lot of time on social media, which was weird to me, watching watching it play out. But he made transition yesterday, and he had been battling cancer, which I didn't know. I don't think
No
many
idea.
people knew. Um,
Mm-mm.
where were you? Do you remember? You must have been a baby when OJ was.
95, okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7 years old. I was 7. But I remember the white Bronco because my mom was in law school at the time, and they had left. We were in Massachusetts at that point, and they had left law school to watch the chase. And I didn't know what I was looking at that time, but my dad was like, we should be recording this. He's like, this is historical. And so I was like, okay. So I remember getting a little VHS and putting it in and hitting record. And as a family, just watching that car chase. It really was historical. It really was. And also from a attorney's perspective, Johnny Cochran, that made his career. If the
Child, if
glove
it don't fit,
must
if it don't
quit,
quit, if it don't fit, you must
yes,
acquit. Yes.
that made his career. And so, yeah, it was historical for so many reasons. And some consider him famous and some consider him infamous. But what a way to pass. Cancer is just awful. It's
Yeah.
awful.
No, it is.
So
It
wishing
is
his
ugly.
family well.
Yeah. My dad and many of us, nobody I think has
Yeah.
been immune from having cancer touch their lives
Jesus.
through a
Yeah.
loved one. So I'm not, going, this is not
Yeah.
that time. But I just want to, talk about the touch points in American history and OJ, the Bronco, the white Bronco. It was the trial, the glove. It was the
Yes.
dog. It was Kato Caitlin. It was
Yes.
Marsha Clark and Chris
Yes.
Darden and Judge Ito. It was the black women on the jury that they mistakenly thought would be mad because he was with a white woman and
Yeah.
didn't understand the racial politics of America that a black woman would not find that man guilty. They
Mm.
mistook us. And that was interesting as well. Born in southern San Francisco,
Yeah.
California, in July 9th, 1947, changed how athletes were viewed. He
Yeah.
was in airplane and running through the airport, jumping over
Mm.
suitcases for hurts and
Mm.
just beautiful. I knew him from the Jet magazine with his first wife,
Mm.
Marguerite, because they were so beautiful. They had a beautiful little
Yeah.
family, and it was like
Yeah. First of all,
gold.
I miss Jet magazine because I really my goal in life was to be one of the Jet beauties of the week.
Okay, I can see
Jet
that.
beauty of the week. Are you kidding? I used to just scroll and be like, what's she wearing? What she got on? Oh my God, fantastic. I used to have them all on my page. Oh my God, I miss Jet. I miss Jet so much. How can we bring it back? How can we
I
do a
don't know that we
biopic about Jet?
I don't think we can. People don't even look at newspapers anymore,
They
let alone have a
don't.
magazine come to their house with their name on it and taking pictures out. You know, there was Right
Oh,
On magazine. We had
yes.
magazines that my mama I still got a magazine from my
Me
mother from the
too.
1970s. She kept all of the
Me
ebonies and
too.
jets.
I
I'm
kept
like,
everything.
ma'am.
I won't just say yes. Need you to do more and say less. I won't just say yes. Need you to do more and say less.